How's it going, folks? It's Lobo, and thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of The Penguin. This being the second to last episode, Top Hat. And of course, the previous episodes are in the description if you want to check those out. But right now, as I said, this is the second to last episode right before the finale, the series finale, because this is a limited series. And before we jump into today's episode, there's something very big I want to mention about this series. And what that pertains to is that next episode, when we have our finale, in the after discussion, which is most likely going to be my largest one because I'm going to be talking about the whole crux of this series in its entirety. I'm also going to be talking about the Batman Part 2. I don't know how it's going to work, how they hand off the reins from Oz's point of view to Bruce. I don't think it's going to be anything major. I always know they sort of coin this as the bridge to the next movie, the bridge in between the two films, but I don't really think it's that connected, or it's going to leave in a way that you're going to be like, oh my God, this is what they're going to do for the sequel. It's going to be an adaptation of so-and-so. But regardless, I'm still going to talk about the next film, do my predictions and like castings and villains and what I think is the sort of, what's the grand plan, so to speak. That's what I'm all going to talk about in my next video, the finale video. So if you're interested, be sure to check it out. It's coming next Monday, of course. But right now we have episode 7, and I won't lie, I'm actually incredibly nervous for this episode. Number one, because obviously Sofia has Vic and Oz's mother, Frances, and I don't want either of them to die, but I predicted since like the first episode, and everyone and their mother too out in the fandom has also said that these two individuals are going to die. That's just sort of, the writing is on the wall for that. But then I also don't know, because Sofia she's reasonable, especially when it comes to women, because of her own experience and how the dealings with men in her family. Then she has her own mother, and we saw the conversation with Eve, and it was just such a great conversation. So I don't know if she would have a bit of pity for Oz's mother, especially with her dementia condition. But I certainly know Sal, on the flip side, is not going to show any remorse or just mercy, more specifically. So I have no idea how this is going to unfold, how Oz is going to get out of this. Maybe he can distract Sal or kill Sal and then plan a rescue mission. Like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm very excited for this one. Also, I do know that this is the shortest episode. If you didn't know, this is, I believe, 46 minutes long, the shortest one of the bunch. And then next episode, the finale, is actually the longest one. So interesting back and forth, but I'm very excited, especially for next week being like 20 plus minutes longer than this episode is going to be. And one more thing, it's not a spoiler because we're going to be watching the episode. Either you've already watched it or you're going to be experiencing it now. I think this is the flashback episode where we're going to get insight into Oz's background, what happened to his brothers, maybe him when he's young, of course. We're going to see what happened to his foot, the scar that gives the beak impression. I have no idea, but I think this is going to be more like his episode, akin to how episode 4, Chantani, was Sofia's episode, and insight into her background and her upbringing and why she is the way she is. So I think this is going to be about Oz. I'm super excited. It's 9 o'clock, so we're going to get started here. I hope you guys are too. I'm so nervous. I really like Oz's mother. The actress is phenomenal. I don't want to see her die. I don't want to see Vic die. Like, it's in my heart, guys. Oh, Creature Commandos trailer. It's cool they're putting that promo before. DC's making a comeback, baby. My heart is kind of racing. I'm very nervous. Is this already the flashback? I think it is. Yeah, because I saw the podcast. She said Frances was an accountant. Awesome, let's go. So he's already got the brace.
I'm still waking, baby.
It's the weekend.
Oh, look at this face. My big, strong bull of a boy.
This is great casting for young Frances.
All right, I'm gonna eat those sweet brains. Let's feast. What a treat. Jack, come here.
You know, and Oz can't run around because of his leg.
Coach, we're going outside for a while.
Nah, I'm staying on Ma.
Oswald, give me the book.
I can do it.
I said Jack.
I want to play baseball.
You don't want to play baseball. What do you want to play?
I don't know, soccer. Rex must be the richest guy in Gotham.
Oh, there's the Cadillac.
It's just paint.
Fucking chariot.
Hey, we should come back later.
Rex!
Hey, stay here with Benny, man. I don't want you getting involved.
Hey, join the ROTC. Be a hero, ain't that right?
Yeah.
How's your mom doing?
It's all right.
Hi, Rex. Nice to see you. How much he give you?
50. Come on.
Holy shit, can I see? Really?
Got them in the 80s or 90s. I can't tell by the cars, but you saw Wayne Tower there still. Yeah, they're going in the trolleys, the tunnels.
Here we go.
Are they gonna die down there? That's what I talked about. When he looked at the door, when he was inside, he gave it a very weird look. So I'm thinking maybe they drown there, and we hear a storm. I don't know if there's flooding.
Ozzy, you're it first. Fine. 4, 10.
Oh, the token. Yeah, it's the door.
Hey, I can hear you down there. Hey, come get her.
You know the rules, Dad.
Fine. Hurry up. Come on, Ozzy.
It's a lot of water.
What's going on?
You know it's hard for me to get down there.
I'm sorry, Oz.
Have fun getting out.
That's a lot of rain. Did he just really accidentally leave them down there?
Where are your brothers?
They went to the movies.
Why didn't you go?
I wanted to be with you.
What do you say we watch our own movie, huh?
Yeah, he's watching for them.
What movie did you say they went to?
Oh my god.
Beetlejuice, I think.
Beetlejuice. What year did that come out? That might have been the 90s or late 80s.
Live in one of them penthouses all the celebrities buy? That'd be nice, huh?
Monday, Ma.
That jar is full. Oh my god. Oh, I can't believe I was right about that. Holy shit. That is why he looked at that door. Last 2 episodes ago. I knew there was something in the way he looked at it. It's one of the times I wish I wasn't right.
Beautiful.
Sal's gonna be waiting for him.
Ma? Vic?
Who's that? It's a decoy. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa,
Vic.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Vic, wake up! Where the fuck is Ma?
Sofia took her.
Took her where? How?
I don't know. The night came on. Shut up.
Ah, that's Sal.
Get out of here!
What about you?
They got my Ma. Gotta face this head on.
Oz, I'm sorry.
Fuck your guilt! Just get me an army kid. Go.
Fuck. Shit, dude. Ah, this has me nervous, man. What's the play here? At least Vic got out.
Sal.
Cared much for the game myself. Too much sitting.
Okay, Abby.
Feels a little different, doesn't it, Oz? My wife,
So you have an agreement with Mr.
son,
Doctor?
filthy piece of shit!
Sir!
That's just a little taste of what you got coming. Yeah, we got your family now.
I can't wait to see the interaction between these two. It's gonna be so interesting.
Don't hide her! She got nothing to do with this! Come on!
Do you feel better?
Have patience. We're gonna kill him soon.
Oz has plot armor, his family doesn't.
I ain't doing shit till I know my Ma's alright!
You trying to make a deal, Oz? With me? I hold up my end, you hold up yours. You remember? You said that to me. And you assured me you wouldn't hurt my family. I'm a gentleman, too. And I'm gonna give you the exact same deal.
Okay. Is she just gonna be a hostage? No more.
You nervous?
No.
Francis Cobb. That's your name, right? You know, Oz told me you died a few years back. He was so torn up about it, too. I actually felt bad for him.
Yeah, well, some people are easy marks. Did you bring me all the way out here to feed me toast, or you're gonna kill me?
That's his mom.
And if Oz leads us to the drugs that he stole from me, then there are options.
He's gonna roast Sal like he did his wife and their bastard son, and then he's coming for you.
I love her so much.
This place ain't got no goddamn personality. You afraid of color?
You can blame my father.
Oh yeah, that's right, you're a what, a Gigante now. Yeah, Oswald told me. What are you gonna do next? Dye your hair pink? Get an ass tattoo? That'll teach your daddy a lesson.
Oz tells you a lot, huh?
He does. That's his confidant. His mom is like his partner.
All those years working for my family, I never gave much thought to Oz's childhood. I'm an East Side kid. I got a bum leg, no father. But those things don't make you a monster, do they? Someone shaped him.
You're looking at him.
He's always 2 steps ahead. All those years, driving you around, cleaning up after you and your family. He was watching. You changed your name. So what? That don't change the game, sweetheart. Drugs is drugs. Crack, bliss, dope, drops. It's all the same shit. Same winners, same losers. So, you call yourself whatever the hell you want, but when my Oswald puts a bullet in that, I'll be tap dancing on you.
She is so good.
Boys died before you could turn them into monsters like Oz, huh?
You shut your goddamn mouth. What are you?
It's acting up now.
They should have been home. Scouring the streets, for Christ's sake. That's your job, ain't it?
Yeah, Sophia has no idea.
Your boys,
Yeah.
Jack and Betty.
Please. You gotta fight him. It's been too long.
Francis, where do you think you are right now?
Fuck away from me.
I was saying she was looking for the monster that made. It's his mom.
I have a friend that works at Brookside Children's Home.
Okay.
Brookside is the residential facility that's looking after your cousin Gia.
Okay.
She's the only loose end from the gassing. But Gia saw something that night.
No. But I could use your help with something else.
I mean, technically, the simp man is the most qualified to speak to someone with her condition. Technically.
I'm Dr. Rush. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I mean, Oz has way more guys in his lair than Maroney would bring in when he has him captured. Nick, right? Somebody's gotta... Are you gonna shoot up the place?
Back, everybody, get back!
God damn it. Bruno.
Oswald Cobb is no longer in charge. You all work for the Gigante and the Maroney families. Quickly and quietly. All right? You need a minute to process this. You take that time now.
Listen, Sal, you got some hate out. That's good. What are you gonna share with Carmine's daughter, huh?
He's trying to get in his head now.
After we finish packing up Sofia's drugs, I'm gonna take you to her place. That's where you die, Oz.
It's a smell. It's burning flesh. And a muscle.
Antagonizing him. Why? Why would he goad him?
Did your beautiful wife Nadia, did she wear a special kind of hairspray or something? Because, man, she went up like a tinderbox.
Give me a late. Mr. Marone!
Oz's guys are loyal. Sal's old, but he's a huge guy. Come on, Oz. I can't believe I'm rooting for him over Clancy. Crazy world.
What are you doing? Come on, you bastard. Let's go. What are you doing? Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on.
Did he get him with the bliss? What? What happened? Heart attack? Oh my god.
Look at me. I beat you, Sal. You hear me? I beat you. I win.
His heart couldn't take it. No, Clancy. Shh.
You're supposed to destroy me, Sal. You know, show me what a big man you are. What a fucking big man you are. I got you. I fucking got you. Trying to steal from me. Trying to take what's mine. What I built. I didn't hear you. Say it again.
He's gonna shoot him. I know it. Just to be sure. There we go.
I beat you, Salvatore Marone.
He's like when Batman beat Superman. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. I love that. So he's got...
I win.
He's like Carmine now. Adding the ring. Taking it as a trophy.
This man.
One down, one to go.
They're dead because you did the right thing. You protected your home, your investment. There's a storm coming. I'm gonna need your help.
How's she gonna convince Gia that she hasn't seen anything? I was also wondering if we were ever gonna get her again. And the terrible thing about this is, look how the Riddler turned out, being in an orphanage in Gotham.
I know your doctor has been asking questions.
I saw a mask in your bag. Did you kill them? My mom and my dad?
Is that what you think? I would do something as horrible as that?
Do you think I did these things?
No, of course not. I know you want someone to blame. It was a terrible accident. Did you do this to yourself? It might sound confusing, but your mom and your dad, everyone in our family, they were bad people who deserved it. I am glad that they're gone. You're gonna get out of here. And you're gonna find a new home. Whatever woman you become, you deserve much better than what this family could have offered. Salvatore.
Nah, Sal's dead, sweetheart. Take it in. You want to kill me? I get it. There is one thing you want more. Ever since I known you, you had your eye on the throne. That's your chance. All you gotta do is bring it to me. Just bring it to me. The whole fucking thing. The bliss. My operation. The keys to the fucking kingdom are here, Sofia. What do you say?
Salvatore Marone is dead. Oz killed him. Oz wants me to bring him his mother in exchange for the product. I agreed.
No. Sophia, it's a trap.
I know. None of it matters.
What did Gia say to you?
Before my father put me away, he wanted me to take over the family. He put me in an institution, and the second I got out, I walked right into another one. Francis is right. I thought I was doing something different, and I thought that I was different, but I'm still playing my father's game. I can't breathe.
Sophia, look at me. Your father's hand is not on your throat anymore. Doesn't matter what he or anyone else wanted for you. What do you want?
I want to be free. I want to be free. And I want Oz to feel pain. Real pain. I need him to suffer.
There's a black G-Wagon heading your way.
All right, everybody out of sight.
Gates are close and locked.
Good.
She knows it's a trap. He's got to know that she's gonna know. Something's got to give here. Is it filled with explosives?
What are you waiting for?
We're in the end game now. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I feel like the episode's gonna end so soon.
I got your product, you got my ma. As long as she's okay, we're good here. What, are we just gonna stare at each other all night? You wanna finish this? Come on.
Your mother is a very interesting woman, Oz.
She helped me realize a few things. I keep trying on all these different faces, but
none of them feel quite right.
Oh God, I think she might be dead. Oh, they probably tied her to a seat or some shit. Nope, there's someone in the car.
Hey! Hey!
She's dead.
What the fuck is going on?
I think you know what I want.
That is the same for you and me, of course you do.
Like my father.
Same winners, same losers.
Everyone expected me to die in Arkham.
No one even considered that I might
Learn something there.
how to play new games. I left you a present.
It's gonna be a bomb.
Yo, Oz, what's going on?
Payback, just like he did with Alberto. Oh, shit, it was a bomb. Get out of there.
There's enough time to get out.
I think if you do, come by and see us.
Monroe's. Holy shit. Oh my God, is it gonna be over? Oh, gee, it's still going. Fuck. How poetic is that he hid where his brothers went down? Oh my, oh, his guys, the product, everything.
Ma, I got dinner for you.
He still's got the other gangs in the triads, but dude, one episode left. Guys, what the fuck? This shit is insane. I keep thinking this episode is over, and it just keeps going, and I love that.
Get dressed. We're going out.
Going dancing.
You have to promise me that you're gonna make something of yourself. That you'll get me every goddamn thing I deserve. Or I ain't gonna make it. I don't know how else I can live with this, Oswald. Cause I deserve a happy life. Don't I, Oswald? Tell me.
Of course you do, Ma. You deserve the best life. And I'm gonna get it for you. I promise. And I ain't gonna quit till I do.
Leg. He finally has to get up that ladder. God, dude, the symbolism and this episode is just fantastic. This is one of the best episodes of the show so far. And this is the shortest one. I feel like it just keeps going on in a good way. I did see the leaked set photos of this way back when they filmed though. But trying to guess how this would fit in.
Hell, if it ain't the Penguin.
Holy shit, it's the detective.
Sofia wants to see you.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, so Oz's brothers, I need to admit when I'm wrong and own up to that, and I was technically right because in episode 5, the way he looked at the door, the water over the floor, tunnel door in the tunnel system of the trolleys, I was like, that was a very weird look. Is this how the city took them? As he said, and yes, I was right about that. And where I was wrong, and I didn't realize, because if you don't know, I've talked about this before. If you've never seen my discussion afterwards, I always say I do the discussion the next day, because after I'm done sort of editing and recording and downloading, it's like midnight, so I go to bed. I get refreshed. Then the next day, when I have time, I do my recording for the discussion, which is now. But I always watch in the meantime, during that span, the sort of behind the scenes look, or I'll check things out like that, and then also people's first impressions. And I see a number of people had the same thought as me, but then I was like, wait a minute. Was I reading this entirely wrong? Because I think just as a person, that's how I am. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, I guess. I try to see the good in people, especially when it comes to children, because I believe children are innocent, and I believe it's the world and people and all these other influences that make monsters. I don't think anyone is naturally born evil. But I read that wrong with Oz. When I was seeing how he locked... And it was kind of right when he shut the door. It wasn't like, I'm going to kill you guys. It was like payback, because in his own mind, he's believing that they are doing that just because of his disability, that they were going down there knowing that he can't. And that was his sort of revenge or spite to get back at them, was closing the door and like, you assholes, now you find a way out by yourself, and I'm going to go back home and not get wet, and I'm going to have fun walking home in the rain. Something like that. But then as it turns out, as time went on, he slowly realized what he has done, and he didn't do anything to fix it. And he smiled about it. He was okay with it. And I didn't realize that was what was going on. The way they shot and framed it, I was, from my own viewing, I was like reading it as he was having this like inner turmoil of like, he was looking at the window, waiting like, when are they going to come back? And I was thinking like, maybe he's wrestling with the idea that they're just going to be trapped down there all night, and he doesn't realize that they're going to drown. He just thinks that they're going to be wet and super pissed at him when they actually do get back and somehow find a way out. But no, he was actually fully intent at that moment on giving in to like, I'm getting all my mother's attention, and now my brothers are out of the picture. No more competition. And I think a large part of why I believe that too, even to the childhood, dude, Oz is truly the best gaslighter, because even me now, the bubble has broken. I can fully see Oz for who he truly is, who every single character has been telling us. Eve, Sofia, Zhao, he's a liar, he's a manipulator, he's a killer, he has no code, no class. And it's finally taken till now for me, myself, to realize that. Because of his charm, because of his charisma, because of the stellar writing and the way Colin Farrell is just bringing this character to life, I really was like, this guy's not evil. He does bad things, but he really cares about the people. Deep down, there's a good guy. He was just broken from what his childhood did to him, the way his brothers died, and he tried to avenge them. That is not what happened in the slightest. This guy is actually... this Penguin, this version of Oz might be more evil than the Riddler is in the Batman, because the Riddler is actually quite broken. You can tell that the Riddler has like actual... Not like Sofia. He has true mental illness that started before he was locked in Arkham. He's a true psycho that really didn't have a chance from the start and was getting back at all the horrors that he endured as a child, being an orphan. Versus Oz, he had a loving family. Surprisingly by his mother was pretty normal. He had good brothers, and he decided to kill them and completely change the dynamic of his own family. Because when they were having the conversation with Francis and Sofia, and she was like, I'm trying to figure out the monster that made Oz who he is today. And I was like, you're looking at him. That's Oz's mom. That's who it is. And reading that, but while not really grasping what truly happens. When you look at it, it's almost like, sure, when she was like, Oz, I need you to win the penthouse. I need you to kill these people. You need to give me the life I deserve. True, she is enforcing that on her son, teaching her the wrong way to be in a dangerous lifestyle and greedily get for her the finer things in life at the price of others' lives and livelihood. But that issue, that all stems from a trauma from the loss of her sons that was inflicted from her other son, Oz. So he could, in the very beginning, this little bastard created all of this shit show. This was all his doing. He almost created the monster, if you want to call her that Francis is in the present day, which then she created. It's like a full sort of snake biting its own tail, the way he formed this out of his own sort of weird fixation on his mother, hogging the attention. Rewatching the scene when editing this, I see the glances now to where I was like, oh, he's mad. I brought this up. He's mad he can't play zombies because of his leg. He can't run around. That was not it. He was like, you're stealing the attention from my mother. It's like, it's in your face, and I didn't even realize it because Oz truly is the best gaslighter. I completely gave this dude the benefit of the doubt, and I've loved him, and now, I can't believe I'm saying it, I don't trust Oz anymore. I don't trust him with Vic. I don't trust him with his mom. Perhaps his mom is going to find out the truth that, no, he killed your sons. He killed his own brothers. Like, I can't believe it. He truly is such a manipulator that me, even an audience member, despite all these characters telling you, do not trust this guy. He's going to betray you. He's going to kill you. I still believed him because of his charisma, his humor, just that aura he has as a person. And it's scary too because that's a real personality trait and a lot of manipulative, I'm trying to say this word, manipulative people. It's like a toxic trait. A close example I can think of, well, it's not real life, but if you've ever played God of War Ragnarok, Odin in that is quite like Oz in a sense, because that Odin wasn't really muscular. He didn't wear authority on his coat. You wouldn't get the sense that this guy is a dangerous figure, but the way he bobs and weaves and he tries to weasel his way to get what he wants, it's very reminiscent of how Oz is in situation. He'll throw anyone under the bus to get ahead in any given situation, and to their face, he will assure them that he's not going to do that. He did it with Sal when he was telling her, honor your ends and I'll honor Nadia. And see, with the Taj and that whole thing with Sal's family, I was like, nah, Oz is in the right because his men came out to shoot him and it looked like an ambush. But rewatching when Sal said that he was going to honor his end, it made me think when Sal got stabbed, did he then call his wife and the men in that building to tell them that, no, this guy double-crossed me, kill him now? So actually, Sal was going to honor his end, but from the get-go, Oz always intended on just playing him. Oh my God, dude. If that's true, if Sal truly was going to not ambush, because I thought it was sure premeditated where Oz was taking the first step, but I was like, in the end, it doesn't matter because Sal was going to try to off him anyway at the same situation, so it's almost survival. But if that's not the case anymore, based on what Sal said this episode, then Oz is just, this guy doesn't give a shit. He doesn't fucking care about anyone, man. Anyone. No class, no code. And even I was like, look at all the guys that are loyal for him. They turn off the lights. They fight back against Maroney's men. And in the end, he didn't do anything to save them. He didn't tell them about the bomb. He just got the hell out of there. He didn't care about his own guys. Like, I see it now. I see him for who he is. It's just, it's a slap in the face. And I feel like this bubble truly has been broken. I can't believe I've never seen him in this light. He got me. Oz has got me. If I was like a young kid, orphans, and if I was in the situation that Vic is, the influence that this guy can hold over people just by his demeanor, his skills as a mastermind sort of liar. And Jesus, dude, I can't believe it. I feel bad because before this episode, you just know that Batman, not in the show because he's not in it, but perhaps in the Batman Part 2 or Part 3 or whenever down the line, eventually Oz is going to bite the dust, not literally to where he dies, but Batman's going to lock his ass up. He's going to Blackgate. We know it's going to happen, or another villain is going to kill Oz, but ultimately Oz will not live to see the sunrise to its full extent, maybe partially, but not all the way through. But before this episode, I was always believing that I'm going to feel sad for him because I've grown such a connection to this character and I really love Oz and his personality and how he loves his people and takes care of them, which I thought he truly did. And I was always like, I'm going to feel bad when Batman puts him away. I'm going to be a little heartbroken because despite all his actions, he's kind of a good guy buried beneath trauma and pain that stemmed from his childhood when the city took his brothers. And again, none of that shit is true. And now I don't think I'm going to feel the same. When Batman locks his ass up, I'm going to be like, good, get this piece of shit off the streets. And I'm scared about Vic now because I don't trust him anymore. I truly don't. I still like him because he can still be funny and have that wit about him, but just as a human being, I don't know. His own men. He'll just, I can't, it's taken me so long. He will throw anyone under the bus. He will kill anyone. He will lie his way. He will tell you to your face the most blatant lies and smile and grin and just, after this episode, after I did my research and I'm seeing how other people are pointing out, and I got to really realize to the extent that Oz has just been this way from the start. And in his childhood, he was a little monster that created his mother, which therefore created him. It's just, it stuck with me. I went to bed thinking about that shit. When I had my eyes closed, I was like rattled. I was like, I can't believe I never realized this. And it stuck with me. I thought about that shit for like hours after the episode. I can't believe it. And it's almost like deniability or weird coping. Like Rex wasn't even how he seemed from Oz's story. Like his family, his brothers were a little bit wary and scared of this guy. And Oz said, hey, Rex, how you doing? But Rex didn't give him the time of day. He was he was fighting some convenience store guy for some reason, extorting money for him perhaps, but he didn't really look the way Oz painted him. And it's kind of like, and it's like, he's not only is he a liar, but he's telling these lies about his own past. Yeah, I mean, he did it with his goddamn brothers. And it really is. I know if you don't know, you're not going to understand, but God of War Odin, the way he just, even when you know the truth about a situation, he will lie about it to your face despite you already knowing the truth, because it kind of goes on that idea that liars just, it's almost like they love to hear the sound of their own voice and know that they can lie, and they enjoy just getting away with it, and they just create these situations no matter where they can to sprinkle in deception. And I feel horrible about the mother, because I thought she was going to be a lot tougher on the boys than based on how she is now, but it was all the woman she is today was created from the grief, from the loss of her boys, and all that sort of the expectation and the love that she had for what her sons are and who they are was given to Oz, which is the positive and the negative, the love, but then also, again, that expectation, that ambition that they have to become something is like tripled on Oz. And he promised her that he's going to get her the penthouse, and by whatever means. What a fucked up little kid, man. Oh my God. Bastard. I feel used, and I feel betrayed, dude. I feel like a character on this show that it's almost like I grew like a friendship to Oz, and I truly feel betrayed. I love his character so much. Colin Farrell has done such a great job at the charisma and just, of course the performance, but bringing that depth to him to where you can overlook his violent and morally gray tendencies because he's likable in a sense. And that was Lauren the Franks. That's one of the things that I forget from where it is. I think it's Rhode Island or Baltimore. There was a mayor that was corrupt, but the people loved him because he kept them, safe and happy or whatever. But he was a shady man. But it's all about that personality that you can overlook, the people that just have that energy about them. And that was something that went into the creation of Oz, like the writing specifically, to bring him to life, to make him a depthful, believable figure. Because yes, he will get his hands dirty, he will fight, he will shoot, but at the end of the day, his greatest skill is his mind, and more importantly is his tongue, the way he talks about these situations to throw you off your game. He's almost like a flood that can seep through the cracks and just get at you. He's becoming the villain now. We only have one more episode. And I also think a large part of it too is, speaking of Odin again, he wasn't my favorite interpretation of Odin. I think the writing was good for how they were doing the character. But for me, whenever I look at a powerful figure, it might be a little generic or stereotypical or boring. You could call that, I admit, but I'm always someone who gravitates more towards the outward power. Like you can see it on someone's face. Now, I'm not talking about like physicality, but more so that somebody who has power commands it just by their presence. Like I liked Mark Strong's Carmine more than John Turturro because I felt like Mark Strong just had that energy about him, like with his looks, his voice. I felt like I talked about this. If I was a goon, and I messed up. I screwed up, and I got to tell Carmine it's my fault. My bad, boss. I would be more worried to tell Mark Strong's Carmine than John Turturro's because he's more of a scarier guy. I always feel more intimidated by the more outwards presence of power. And that's not something that, sure, Oz is like a bigger guy, but he has his disability. And because of that, he's severely underestimated. But it's something I never really took at face value in a sense, because I always do kind of I don't want to say this by like making it seem like I'm sort of I don't want to make it to seem like I think of myself as like a big man, but a lot of times when I watch it, when they try to make this scary person, I'm like, this dude's a toothpick. I could kick his ass. I'd like to see him try. So it's just, I don't know. It just is something that I've always just more favored, is the outward presence of authority and scariness and intimidation. So with Oz putting on this facade, it completely blindsided me to the truth that he is quite literally a dangerous man, despite all the things he's done. I know you're probably sitting there like, what are you talking about? Look at all the shit he's done. Look at all the people he's killed. But again, it comes down to his personality, his charisma, his way with words. He's like a charming devil. He got me, but I see him now for who he is, okay? And moving on from Oz and his brothers and all that, because there's still a hell of an episode to talk about, but I just want to kind of get through it. Right now, I want to talk about Frances, specifically the actress who plays her. I've always said throughout the series that she has just been masterful, amazing, and truly, I think this is her best performance of the series. I was looking forward to the conversation between her and Sofia, and I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be that good. She ate the fuck out of that sequence. She was so good, being sort of going from the I'm not intimidated, I'm okay with dying, and laying it out for Sofia that by the end of the episode, Sofia was admitting that she was right about her, that she penned her down like that. But then to do that and then have to transition to her falling into a sort of tic or state when her dementia kicks in about her brothers once they're her sons, once they're brought up, and then transition that I'm not scared, I've got you, my son's gonna kill you demeanor that's wearing on her face, that just, I'm not intimidated in the slightest. And to go from that to completely vulnerable and broken, just that transition of pulling that off as an actress, just, she is fantastic. I will always rave about Oz's mother in this. She is wonderful to see on the screen. I like truly, her, Sophia, Colin, they're just chef's kissed in this show. They've just been extraordinary. I've said this, one of the most well-rounded casts I've seen in a long time for a series when we're talking about sort of main characters, main cast members. But even speaking of Sophia, with that whole thing where Frances was like, you're playing Carmine's game, you can change your last name, you can, get an ass tattoo change. It changes nothing. And Sophia realizing that, especially with when she was talking with Gia, when she was like asking her, do you believe I did these things? Like a direct parallel to Carmine when they were having the conversation about him killing the women. And he's like, you believe I did these things? And then she realizes she's doing exactly what her father did to her is what she's doing to Sophia. That's why they intentionally created the orphanage to mirror Arkham with those jagged hallways that give that sort of claustrophobic and containment feel to them. Direct mirroring. So the writing in this episode and the design, it just so good. Especially too, I pointed it out when Oz had to sort of bury himself in safety where his brothers died. It's just full circle with a lot of these moments. That is an example, or more so, that's the display of very good writing. And that's what makes the show great. That's why this show is truly something special, because it all comes down to the writing. You can have as many characters as you want. You can have any specific character you want for a show, CGI, action, cameos, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, writing is what holds it all together. In this show, out of every show I've seen, every comic book show, there has been nothing quite like the Penguin, in my opinion. I know Daredevil comes close. I still haven't finished it. I need to watch season 3, which, spoiler, we're going to experience in a couple weeks. I'm getting back to Daredevil, so But no, this show is just, this show's phenomenal. This show is so good, and I'm so sad that there's one episode, the final episode, and I intend on making that my longest post-reaction discussion because we are going to be talking about the entirety of this series, and more so the Batman Part 2. I don't know where we're going to end off, where we're going to lead to, how's it going to incorporate Batman. It's not going to, but it has to allude to him some way because barring the first episode, in the first like 2 minutes, we are live with the Batman Vigilante, top Gotham Square Garden or whatever. There has been, shockingly, I am shocked by it. There has been no connection to Batman. No criminals being afraid to go in the shadows. Nobody looking up in the night. No bat signal in the sky. Nothing. No talk of him whatsoever. Oz not mentioning to Vic, hey, by the way, I got into a chase with that freak of a nut in a costume vigilante, the Batman guy. And then Vic was like, oh, no way, that's so cool, or that's scary. I'm scared the Batman's gonna come for me. And then Oz could have been like, hey, you don't gotta worry about Mr. Vengeance there, kid, or whatever. Nothing of the sort. I knew he wasn't gonna be in it, but just any talk of him, it's like, I wouldn't say they're ashamed to, but I'm like, what is this? Is there a law against mentioning this guy? Especially with all these criminals, you think they'd be afraid? Like, he's in the Batcave watching the TV news, seeing how the criminal organizations are at war with each other, blowing up streets of Gotham, flooding it with a new drug, killing people, hanging them upside down with chopped off pinkies like a serial killer. He's got to investigate at the slightest. And I said for a few episodes that I can imagine the final shot, we would finally get the alluding to Batman in the form of the bat signal in the sky when Penguin's overlooking the city because he won the penthouse at the cost of everything he's ever cared for, and he's enjoying the mountain view, so to speak, alone because at the top is where it is actually the loneliest. But that's when he sees the bat signal and he knows that he's got his attention. I said that's a possibility too. We'll have to see next episode, but I wonder what's going to happen. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I might have last episode, but I think Sofia's end is either she gets sent back to Arkham, or as a kind of FU in a twisted way, in a literal way, to get back at her in a poetic way. Kind of like if you ever seen the show Vikings, the way Jarl Borg got killed by a blood eagle. I know out of context, you're like, what are you talking about? It was a Viking form of torture / execution that was very bloody, very gruesome, very painful, but it was inflicted to mirror the image of an eagle. But in the premise of the show, Jarl Borg had this sort of connection to eagles, and that the eagle would be like his protector and his destiny in a sense. And it's the irony that in the end, the bloody eagle execution is what killed him. So I was like, oh my God, Sofia, the hangman, what if Oz, to get back at her for killing his mother, which I imagine is still going to happen in the finale, he gets hands-on with how he kills her and he strangles her to death. How poetic and how full circle would that be? So I guess that's one of my predictions how Sofia's going to end. I have no idea with Vic anymore because I do not trust this guy anymore. I think Oz might kill Vic. I said before, the writers kind of addressed this in, I think it was episode 3, when Vic was in the car and he was like, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. And I was like, okay, the writers know that. We know that it's kind of like, it's a little obvious that Vic is going to meet his end by Oz. So they're going to subvert expectations and do something completely different. But now I think we might get back to the original idea that Oz will do it. I don't know why, but I can see it now, the way he's able to sacrifice his own men, his own brothers. Sure, he might have some guilt about it, the way that he speaks about them, or maybe the whole development of the relationship with Vic is like, he's like repenting. It's penance for his brothers in a sick, weird, brotherly, fatherly, mentorly, apprenticely relationship that he's concocted with this orphaned teenager in the form of Vic. Maybe that's the whole point of him. It's him living his trauma and trying to cope with it, forming a relationship almost to redeem himself. I mean, he did have the picture of his brothers in his house, so clearly there is a bit of guilt there. And I don't know if his mom knows the truth. It would be crazy if she found out and then she sort of disowns him, and then, because he's always been seeking her approval in a very, very weird way. I always thought they had a weird relationship, a little bit too, not sexual, but very intimate. The way they're very hands-on and it's just them. It's super personal. It's a little awkward, but it comes back to how kind of sick he was as a kid, hogging her attention at the expense of his own brother's lives. God. Hell of an episode. I kind of laced through this discussion my predictions for the next one. I was going to do a bit where I just did predictions, but I kind of sprinkled them in throughout talking. This was more of a rant than a discussion because this was a heavy episode, shortest episode, but I think the most impactful because not only does it set so many things up before the finale, but just the revelation of me realizing Oz and the audience getting to experience the trauma of his youth. And it's funny too because I've always complained, the irony of this, I've always complained about the Sony movies, the way they do Spider-Man villains with no Spider-Man. It's always like, oh, do you have to take a villain and make them an anti-hero? Why can't we just get a villain? And with Oz coming up, I knew it was going to be like, oh, we're going to tell the story of him as a kid, what broke him, what formed him to become a villain, the loss and death of his brothers and his world being shook. But it's like, nope, from the start, this guy was a villain. And he's a villain all the way to the end. And you'd think I'd be happy with that, but I'm actually sad. I'm like, no, I want anti-hero Oz because I love him. And gaslit, I'm telling you. Son of a bitch got me. Not anymore, though. I see you for who you are. And I hope that dude right there, trying to match my finger, that dude right there comes for you, Oz. I hope so. Oh, God. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you watched this far, thank you so much. And also, if you want to talk about it, please feel free to down in the comments, over on Twitter, wherever you want. I'm open to it. I certainly want to hear your thoughts, especially about this. And again, the longest discussion and my predictions and all that sweet good stuff about Batman and specifically the Batman, obviously. And this show is going to be next episode in the series finale. That's going to be a huge episode. It's probably going to be out at night because my discussion, I feel like this discussion has been one of my longer ones. And I feel like next episode is going to be quite longer to the point where I'm going to have to upload around nighttime just by editing it. I'm excited and I'm very sad to see it go. But we'll get into all that good stuff next week. I'm on the fence about putting out a movie reaction this week. I don't know if I'm going to hold off till next week. I said this for like 4 weeks in a row now. So I'm not going to say anything about it. 50-50 chance that on Friday there will be a movie reaction to a movie. If you're interested, you might not be. That's completely fine. But again, after the series concludes, I'll go into sort of the future because I obviously am going to continue with edits, but I still want to continue with the reactions, and something is going to have to overtake this. I already told you it's going to be Daredevil, but something else as well. And then after those, naturally, will be other series that I intend on doing in movie series, because there are a few movie series that I have actually never seen, and I'm going to watch on my channel. So again, if you're interested in that, just look out in the future. That's coming, especially after the finale, which, of course, is going to be next Monday. So until then, have a great rest of your day. Rest well. And until the next.